Hello everybody, this is Gregory with Permanent Weight Loss, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today I'm going to talk about how Oprah Winfrey came out and admitted that she's taking a weight loss injectable drug, though she didn't mention it being Ozempic. It's likely Ozempic, and what this means to the body positive movement and what this means in general to people who are wanting to lose weight. Now, before I begin, if you need help with weight loss, because you know I've lost over 100 pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. I might be able to help you. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey, icon, not an icon to all people, but an icon, recently was on the red carpet and she had lost a lot of weight. So she was interviewed for a magazine and she talked about, and she was very open. She's like, look, when I was big in the 80s and 90s, I mean, I'm not talking about the double entendre bigger, but when she was well known in the 80s and 90s, she would get on a lot of lists of poorly dressed women, and there were always snickers and comments about her weight. You know, there was a time in the 80s, I don't know if you guys watched the Oprah Winfrey show, where she lost a lot of weight and she was in these skinny jeans, and then later on she got big again. And so she said, you know, I during that time when I was really famous, people would make fun of my weight and I was, you know, ashamed of it and I was tired of it. So like, I'm going to take advantage of the technology that we have now. And so she didn't mention that she was on Ozempic, but she mentioned that she was on a medication that is well known. So maybe she didn't want to give money to Ozempic, but she's taken Ozempic and she's lost the weight. Now, what does this mean? What's the significance of this? Oprah Winfrey, you know, multi-billionaire woman. One thing, I think it casts aspersions on the body positive movement. And as you guys know, anything that casts aspersions on the body positive movement, I am totally for, because I think in the long run, the body positive movement does such a great disservice to people, because it's simply put, in its most reductionistic argument, is obesity shortens your life expectancy. Every study will show that. So why are we going to elevate a lifestyle that will shorten your life expectancy? We don't do it with heroin addiction. We don't do it with smoking anymore, unless you watch a movie like Maestro, which is just smoking all day. So why are we doing it here? You know, and the argument is, well, you know, people, they feel bullied. I understand that, and there's a way to have compassionate love. True love for somebody is reaching out to them and telling them to stop doing the behavior that's shortening their life expectancy. So when Oprah is saying, I'm tired of being fat, I'm going to take advantage of Ozempic, even though she doesn't mention Ozempic, to lose weight, it undermines the body positive movement, because she should be saying, or could be saying, like all overweight people are saying out loud but don't really mean it, is I'm fat and I love it. No fat person loves being fat. They don't. This is what you say when you're overweight, because then when you lose the weight, you go back and be like, yeah, I was in a dark time. You know, how many celebrities said that when they gain weight, they're interviewed, yeah, I'm glad I can finally be who I am and be comfortable, and then they'll lose the weight later on and be like, oh, I was in a dark place. Just be honest and just be like we talked about with Sam Smith, the singer who's gained a lot of weight. Just be honest and be like, yeah, I'm not in a good place right now. I'm eating too much. I'm drinking too much. I'm trying to control my appetite. But the thing is, like if you say that, then the radical left woke movement, whose body positive is pushed by, the left pushes the body positive movement. We talked about recently how the body positive movement is actually funded by big food. That group, the woke movement, will come and crucify you. What's wrong with being fat? You're shaming fat people. Instead of just being like, the thing I'm saying right here, like obesity shortens your life expectancy. I don't want to die young. I want to try to lose my weight. So I think Oprah admitting that she wants to lose weight undermines the body positive movement. I think that's a great thing. What else is it doing? I think it's a bad disservice in that we've talked about here with Ozempic. Ozempic it just so epitomizes the quick fix mentality that we have in America. And it so epitomizes why 80 to 90% of people who lose more than 50 pounds will regain it in their lifetime. And why is that? Because it's a quick fix. Anytime there's a quick fix, it's not going to work. So like with something with like Ozempic are injectables that you have to keep taking over and over and over and over and over. Once you stop taking it, you gain a way back. But that's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem with Ozempic is that it leads to thyroid tumors, pancreatitis. Pancreatitis increases your chances of getting pancreatic cancer, which has a 95% death rate. And it leads to a lot of other major organ problems, like a lot of prescription drugs. So it's like you're making this Faustian pact. If you know the old, I mean, it was a play. Chris Marlowe did Faustus, and then Goethe wrote the novel. That's probably the most famous version of that in the early 1800s. You're making this Faustian pact with the devil. It's like, I will lose weight in exchange. I will die young, and all my organs will break down. But that the perfect mindset of America today is, I need the quick fix. I need to pop a pill. I don't care if it destroys my life. We have an episode here where it was something like 20% of women would rather lose a year of their life than be fat. No, it was more like 50%. I'm sorry, it was 50%. And then 20% said they'd rather have a special ed kid or have an arm cut off than be fat. So it just kind of gives you an idea how desperate people are not to be overweight. Even though the body positive movement, of course, is telling you that it's totally fine. So you can see why people, Hollywood, celebrities, rich people, are taking Ozempic, but they're not thinking long term. They're not thinking farsighted, they're thinking short-sighted, because they're ultimately hurting their health. And Ozempic is not getting to the root problem. And this is the main reason why 90% of people who lose a lot of weight regain it. It's because you're not doing the deep work. And that is the crux of permanent weight loss, is you have to look at why you have a disordered relationship with food in the first place. And more often than not, it's because of early childhood trauma that made you turn to food for nurturance, for soothing, or alcohol, because alcohol also leads to weight gain as well. And you got to do that. But a lot of people don't want to peel the onion, right? They don't want to go back to childhood. They don't want to go back to the abuse, the trauma, the negligence, the negligent behavior, whatever it was that happened to you. And so I'd rather just feed the pain with food, or do these quick fixes. But unless you have a paradigmatic change, how you view food, how you view exercise, how you view sleep, how you view stress, you're going to regain the weight. You're going to regain the weight. And I'm not saying that because I think you're going to regain the weight, but the statistics bear it out. The majority of people who lose the weight gain it back. And we talked about with Weight Watchers, Weight Watchers has, or WW as it called now, has the perfect business model, because anyone who loses weight using WW attribute it to them. But when they regain it, they never blame Weight Watchers, they blame themselves. And so after a year or so, they go back to Weight Watchers. See, so again, why does the dog just eat and walk away when he's no longer hungry? Why does the 3-year-old do that? Why can't we do that? Because you got to do the deep work. And here with Oprah is just looking at the quick fix. She's not looking at the trauma that she had in her childhood. And if she did the deep work, and God knows she's got the money to do it, and I'm sure she's been going to therapy forever, but that's the key, is you got to do the deep work instead of looking at these short-term pernicious medications in the long run are going to end up hurting you even more. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.